Welcome. Today, we're diving into the top 10 GMP deficiencies that FDA inspections commonly uncover. These are the critical gaps that can impact quality and compliance in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Understanding these issues helps us stay ahead and ensure the highest standards in our processes. Let's get started. When the FDA conducts inspections, they're looking to make sure drug products are made consistently and meet strict standards for identity, strength, quality, purity, and safety. They want to confirm that manufacturing processes stay under control and that quality systems are working effectively. After an inspection, there are several possible outcomes, from no action needed to voluntary or official actions, including forms and warning letters. The most common and serious issues usually stem from lapses in quality oversight and risk management. Let's talk about data integrity, a critical area in regulatory compliance. We're guided by rules like 21 CFR 211.68 and 211.194, along with the FDA's data integrity guidance and ALCOA plus principles. Common issues include deleted data, unrecorded results, shared passwords, backdated entries, and incomplete audit trails. A typical problem is when an analyst repeats tests until they get a passing result, but doesn't document the failures. The FDA worries this hides true product quality. To prevent this, we need thorough audit trail reviews, strict access controls, and ongoing data integrity training. The second common deficiency we see is inadequate investigations. Often, root cause analyses are superficial. They don't dig deep enough. This leads to repeat deviations and conclusions that aren't backed by solid evidence. Sometimes, the real impact on the product isn't even identified. For example, an environmental monitoring excursion might be dismissed as operator error without proof. The FDA expects investigations to be scientific and well-documented. To prevent these issues, tools like root cause analysis, fishbone diagrams, and CAPA effectiveness checks are essential. Now let's look at a common problem: poor environmental monitoring. This means sampling isn't done properly, trends aren't analyzed, and microbial excursions get ignored. Sometimes contamination investigations are incomplete. For example, repeated fungal findings in a critical area might go unexamined. The risks here are serious: product contamination and sterility failures. To prevent this, we need a risk-based monitoring program with regular trending and thorough reviews. It's about catching issues early, before they become bigger problems. One common problem we see is inadequate cleaning validation. This means the process to prove equipment is truly clean isn't thorough enough. Regulators expect us to study residues carefully, test the toughest products, and have clear acceptance criteria. But often, residue studies are too limited, sampling plans fall short, and worst-case products aren't evaluated. For example, cleaning might be validated with just one product, ignoring the hardest-to-clean API. To prevent this, we need risk-based validation, combined swab and rinse recovery studies, and regular revalidation over time. One common deficiency we see is weak process validation. The FDA's guidance from 2011 sets clear expectations here. Often, process performance qualification studies are incomplete, and ongoing verification is missing. Sometimes, the scientific rationale behind validation decisions just isn't strong enough. For example, a tablet compression process might be validated using only limited batch data, which isn't enough. The FDA expects a full lifecycle approach, starting with process design, moving through qualification, and then continuing with ongoing verification to ensure consistent quality. One major deficiency we often see is inadequate documentation practices. This means records are missing, corrections lack explanation, batch records aren't complete, or entries are hard to read. For example, an operator might sign off on a cleaning record before the task is actually finished. To prevent this, we rely on good documentation practices, recording information in real time, and regularly auditing those records to catch issues early. It's all about accuracy and accountability. Now, let's talk about poor equipment qualification and maintenance, a common pitfall. We see issues like expired calibrations, missed preventive maintenance, and equipment modifications that haven't been properly qualified. For example, using a pressure transmitter past its calibration date can lead to inaccurate readings. The fix: a solid calibration program paired with regular preventive maintenance schedules. Together, these keep equipment reliable and processes running smoothly. Our findings reveal some clear gaps in training. Records are incomplete, and there's a lack of role-specific training tailored to what people actually do. Plus, no one's checking if the training is effective. For example, we saw an operator performing a critical aseptic task without documented qualification. To prevent this, we need annual GMP training, qualification assessments, and practical evaluations to prove competency. These steps address the 8th deficiency, deficient training programs, and help build a stronger, safer operation. Now, let's talk about quality unit failures, a critical deficiency in regulatory compliance. This happens when the quality assurance team doesn't provide adequate oversight. It means deviations aren't properly reviewed, and products may be released before investigations are fully closed. For example, a batch might be released even though out-of-specification results haven't been resolved. This kind of lapse can seriously undermine product safety and trust. It's a reminder that quality oversight can't be an afterthought. We found some key issues around supplier and material control. First, suppliers weren't qualified thoroughly enough. Then, incoming materials weren't tested properly before use, and crucial quality agreements were missing. For example, raw materials were accepted just based on the supplier's certificate of analysis, without any verification on our end. To prevent these problems, we need regular supplier audits, a solid vendor qualification program, and ongoing performance reviews. These steps help close the gaps and keep quality where it belongs, at the start of the process. Let's look at where the FDA is focusing its inspection efforts today. They're paying close attention to data integrity governance, making sure data is accurate and reliable. AI and computerized systems validation are also key, as technology plays a bigger role. Contamination control strategies and alignment with Annex 1 show a push for safer, cleaner processes. Quality culture and continuous process verification highlight ongoing improvement. Cybersecurity in GMP systems is critical alongside risk-based quality management. Overall, the FDA is shifting from just spotting compliance issues to evaluating how mature and robust a company's entire quality system really is. When it comes to inspection readiness, there are several best practices we need to keep front and center. First, we strengthen our quality culture. It's the foundation for everything else. Then, we implement a risk-based quality management system, making sure we focus where it matters most. Maintaining data integrity is critical, as is trending deviations and environmental monitoring data to spot issues early. Regular internal audits and validating computerized systems keep us sharp. We also need to boost CAPA effectiveness and fully integrate continuous compliance systems into daily operations. The top 10 GMP deficiencies highlight where most organizations struggle, from data integrity and investigations to training and supplier qualification. Addressing these areas helps us stay inspection-ready and compliant. FDA inspections repeatedly show us where the biggest gaps in good manufacturing practices tend to be: in quality systems, data integrity, contamination control, and management oversight. When organizations commit to strong quality risk management, continuous monitoring, and a culture that values compliance, they're far better equipped to avoid issues and keep regulators confident. It's not just about passing inspections. It's about building sustainable systems that consistently deliver safe, effective medicines to patients around the world. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to explore this topic further or have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate your time and attention, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. Thank you. This video was created with SlideSpeak. Visit SlideSpeak to turn your presentations into engaging AI-narrated videos.